Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for being patient about the Canvas glitch. It happens sometimes. They copy these classes over and over again, and sometimes weird, fluky, glitchy things happen. So I appreciate your patience while I corrected that. And I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. So, the video for week 3 is one I recorded a year ago where I am talking about motivation. And please make sure you view it all and really think about it and analyze and reflect on your own practice. I used the book The Outsider by S.E. Hinton as part of my curriculum to talk to you and discuss motivation. And I hit everything I wanted to hit in that video, so I was like, I'm putting that one up for you all. And then I just wanted to let you know that I looked over your graphic organizers, and I am just so impressed with this cohort's work and your detailed observations, your ability to look at a period of time historically or psychologically and see what's going on in your own classroom or in your own district or in policy and practice today, and what needs to be considered for revamping and what can be held on to. And something that I wanted to remind you about, whether you're in the classroom or a lead teacher or a department head or working in administration right now, whatever you may be doing, um, when we have these professional development, when we have these staff meetings, I'm sure you've all experienced where somebody who's been in the profession for a long time, you bring up something new that is really just revamped from something old, and they get very frustrated because education is cyclical and we tend to come back around, to things, and sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes that's a bad thing, and I'm sure you were noting that when you were looking through the period. You're going, oh, wait a minute, now this makes sense why we do this and why we do this. um, but a good thing to do in professional developments and staff meetings, department meetings, those types of things, is when you have somebody that you're worried may tank things because it's come back around again. You have to look at their motivation as well, and and a good way to do that is to find ways to call people in. So you can be like, this is something that we worked on years ago, and we've found now through research that it's something that we should have continued doing. Frank, and then you pick somebody who may be the ringleader that tanks the motivation in the meeting, and you're like, Frank, when this came out, didn't this have a different name? Put them in the position to add into the conversation, and then Frank can, say, yes, it did, and it was called this, and we did this, and and then you could say, and how did this work for you, and what was successful in your classroom, and could you share some of these tips with everyone else, like what worked and what didn't work? So that's a way to bring people in and keep that motivation, when you're crafting new curriculum, when you're working on new things, but old things are reappearing. And then for new teachers, it's always important to share the history of curriculum, the psychology of curriculum, where it comes from, why we're doing these things, but then also leave it open for people like you that are in the MyEd program and learning new things all the time to talk about, what's coming into curriculum, or what they learned, in MyEd. And that's for teachers of all ages. But when new teachers come in, once again, of all ages, they don't know the history and the psychology of things. And then remember also that, and I talked about this before, another motivator is that people can feel really uncomfortable saying something out loud or asking a question out loud, especially if they think that they're supposed to know an acronym or they're supposed to know what people are talking about. And then the problem with that becomes then, they're not learning. Okay, they're not learning. So you want to make sure, I always say to everybody, whether it's colleagues, whether it's admin, whether it's students, you always want to assume that someone doesn't know, not in a down way, but assume they don't know an acronym, assume they don't know something, and just take a moment to briefly explain it so they can feel comfortable. And also, always have, an opening in your classes or in your department meetings or curriculum planning, whatever, where people can write private messages, quietly, without being speaking out loud to everyone in the room. Okay. All right. So you should be working on your group 3 project. Remember that your one discussion board is actually going to be posted, the non graded one that's connected to the group project. You don't have to post that until Sunday. Okay. And then I'm going to look at it in the next week, because I want you to have the entire week to work on your group project. I don't want you to be stressing trying to get this group project up on the discussion board on Thursday. So do the discussion board, the graded one. Have your initial response up on Thursday and your 2 follow-ups on Sunday. And then remember, when you submit the group 3 project to the submission, you're also going to be submitting it to the discussion board for all of the other cohorts to see. Okay? All right. Have a wonderful week. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.